Hello, welcome to WillPower UnSurfaced. It's your host Khadijah Sams, and I am hot. I'm hot, y'all. I'm hot. I'm burning up in here. Like the old ladiness is getting to me today. Like I'm on hot flash. I'm having like hot flash like every 10 seconds. Yes, Toucan. Thank you. I'm burning up. The weather done changed. I got on Uggs now. Y'all know I got my Uggs on, right? Because the other day it was cold. Now today, thank you, Toucan. That feels real good. Now today, it feels like springtime again. So, but I'm here. I'm here today. I barely made it, but I'm here. I'm here. And I want to talk about today. I'm going to talk about a couple things. But if you happen to be on my Facebook page today, then you seen that I said I was going to talk about the crookery, okay? And I know that might not be a word, but that's a word that I made up because people be trying to get you out here. You know what I'm saying? You know, every day we hustling out here trying to make it to day every day. And the more we get up, it's always something that try to bring us down, right? So I was the first thing I wanted to talk about was y'all know I'm always on that real estate. I'm always talking about real estate and buying or having our own properties. So I was researching a first time home buyers program, and I was researching the requirements for this program. And I noticed that it wasn't a requirement, but one of the stipulations to getting a mortgage through this first time home buyers program was that you had to stay in the house for 15 years before you could sell it. Stay in the house for 15 years. And I'm thinking to myself, real estate is like, and owning a home is the first way to obtain wealth in this country. When you buy a home, like I talked to you guys about it before, you always can leverage your home for different things. So these first time home buyers programs, they're normally for people, lower income people who have, not great credit, but they want to buy a home. And so these programs, they do help people get homes, but it's the stipulations that I couldn't understand, because it's like, if I'm buying this house, and it's not only is it a home, it's an investment as well. If you buy a home, say their neighborhood changes, and you don't want to stay there for 15 years, if you get a mortgage through this particular program, then you have to stay in this house for 15 years. Suppose you don't want to, so now you're locked in, and that to me I couldn't understand, because I can understand if they said 5 years, and even they may be too much, because you should be able to sell it when you want since you're buying it. But just say 5 years. 5 years ain't so bad, but 15, just to say I have to stay in this property for 15 years before I can sell it, I think that is such a crookery. I'm going to say that's my word, crookery. I think that's terrible, because some of the lenders for these homes is like Wells Fargo is one of the banks that I remember for sure. But it was a few other banks as well. So if a person was to go to Wells Fargo and get a conventional loan, and that's a loan that is not a first time home, normally not a first time home buyer's loan, is not a conventional loan. It's a loan where they have to sit down and have a little meeting and say you're qualified. Those are a little bit harder to get. But if you have a conventional loan, 9 times out of 10 you can flip that house right away. Say you didn't want to stay, you was there for 3 years, and then you was ready to sell. Or like what's going on in our neighborhoods in Philadelphia now, people are buying houses, selling their houses, people are moving in, fixing them up. So say you wanted to sell it, and it's like, so now you're obligated to stay. If you get it through this through this program, that's the music. If you get it through this program, now you're obligated to stay in this property for 15 years. And I thought that was kind of unfair, because you shouldn't have to stay in a property that you're paying a mortgage on for 15 years if you're already obligated to this loan. But you should be able to sell this property at any time you wanted to. You shouldn't be trapped. And I feel like that's a disadvantage for people in the inner cities and people with not that great credit, or people who are don't have a great income coming in to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So to make me stay in this property when I'm supposed to be using this property to gain wealth, I think I really think that's so unfair. And that was one of the stipulations. So I opted out, because I opted out of that. I decided that I didn't want to be a part of that because I felt like, wow, I know that real estate is the way to gain wealth in America. So why would I buy even if I am a first time homeowner? Why would I? Hey, Dawn. Why would I lock myself into a mortgage where I have to stay in this area for 15 years? I thought that was so unfair, and it's like, wow. So it's like, we're gonna help you, but you gotta stay there. You know what I mean? It's like the catch-22 is, we're gonna help you. We know you don't have a lot. We're gonna give you this opportunity to get this mortgage, but you have to stay here. You cannot move. You're locked in, and that's the trickery right there. I mean, I'm like, wow. I mean, it's amazing, but I mean, the good thing is, you can get the house, but it's like if I'm paying for it and my name's on it, why are you holding me hostage in this house? It's like, that's how I feel. I feel like you're being held hostage in a house if you have to stay there for 15 years and you don't want to. Just because you're, just because you fit whatever their stipulations is, whatever their criteria is for getting in the program. You know what I mean? So that means that if you don't want to go that route, now you got to save up probably like 10, maybe 15% if you're going to try to get a conventional loan. And then you got to make sure your credit is tip top. Because I know when I called my bank and I asked them what my credit score needed to be to get a mortgage through them, they told me 750. 750, that's where they started. So, so now I'm on my way. I'm making it work because I didn't want to opt into their program because I didn't want to be locked in to a property for 15 years that I know probably 9 times out of 10 that I don't want to stay in that area for 15 years. You know what I mean? So now I'm going to have to do it the hard way. You know what I mean? But it taught me a lesson because when I was young, I did not take credit seriously. I just wanted to buy everything cash. I ain't want to have to deal with no credit. And now it's coming back to kick me in my butt because now I want to do things. I want to do things. I got a business. I want to borrow money for my business. And now I'm not in a position to be able to do that. You know what I mean? And if I was in a position to, if I could get a loan, that right now the interest rates is out of control. The interest rates are really out of control because that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Because I applied for a loan. I said, let me see if I can get a loan so I can get some things moving. And I was approved for the loan. Now, I was approved for the loan. But it was like two amounts. Like, for a secure loan, I was approved for the amount that I really wanted. And for an unsecured loan, I was approved for less. So, the secure loan means that I had some collateral that they could use to borrow against in case I didn't pay them back the money. And the unsecured means that I didn't have collateral. I mean, I was borrowing the money without collateral. So, why the word won't come out? I was intrigued because I'm like, I was shocked that I got approved, but I had been working on my credit. So I asked the guy, I'm like, okay, so what's the difference between the unsecured and the secured? And he tells me the criteria, and he said, you can borrow against your car. So I'm like, because I don't know if I want to do that because I ain't no dummy. So I'm like, so if I let you, if I use my car as collateral, so he says, well, what we would do is we would pay the rest of your car off, and then we would add the money that you borrowed to the car, and then you would pay it off, like you would continue to pay your note like you've been doing, and plus the additional money for the loan. So I'm like, I'm interested. I knew I wasn't going to put my car up, but I was interested in him telling me just how long I was going to have to pay this amount. And he said 60 months. I almost fell out of my chair when he said 60 months. What? I don't even owe 60 months left on my car. I don't even owe $20,000 on my car. So why in the hell would I put my car up so I can pay you this amount of money for 60 months? And then when I added it up, it was $31,500. Can you believe that? And trust me, I was not trying to borrow $10,000 or $20,000. And I was like, damn, so they really, and it's a shame because they should not even be allowed to do that. That is That's the crookery I'm talking about right there. I mean, that's some straight up highway robbery. My car almost finished being paid off. Now I had to pay you back this amount, which wasn't that much. It wouldn't even took me 60 months to pay this amount back. And you want me to give you my car, put my car up for this amount, and then I gotta pay you for 60 months. I said, no, I'm good. No, thank you. He had an attitude too, the guy. I guess I blew his little commission for the day. I guess he was like, I almost had one. Well, you didn't have me. No, I'm not Boo Boo the Fool. Is you kidding me? That was so crazy, right, Dawn? You still there, Dawn? I'm like, really? $31,000? Unbelievable. That's the amount the car be costing when you first buy the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. But it just, and then I was talking to somebody that I know that got a loan from these particular places, and they said they ended up paying double back what they borrowed. So I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not going to fool around with that. But it was just the idea, knowing that somebody can just rob you like that, straight up robbery. Because sometimes people be desperate. Like, I wasn't that desperate. I figured out some other way. But sometimes people, really be in need. They be in need of money. You know what I'm saying? And then people will say, I'm going to give you this loan, put this up. And then you think about it, a year later, you're like, damn, I still got to pay this. You might not be in a position to pay. And what if you're not in a position to pay these people back for 5 years? You just gave them whatever collateral you put up for the money. You just let them, they just got your property. They just got your car, house. I'm just going to say house, but whatever collateral that you used, they got it. But they charged, like, I didn't even add up the interest rate. I just knew it was crazy because, like, there was no way that I was going to let them make me pay that much a month for my car, because I don't even pay that much for my car now. So why would I allow that? And it was just crazy because it was like, damn. And I was all excited because I thought I had it. I was like, oh, shucks, that's got approved. And so he told me that little nonsense, and I'm like, oh, no, I can't get down with that. But this is what they do to people. This is how they get you. You might need that. You might be a person that desperately needed this money, and that's why you're like, oh, I gotta prove. All right, okay, just go ahead, because you're not thinking about it. Because sometimes when we be in a dire situation and something happens, you be like, you don't even be thinking. Sometimes you just trying to get out the situation that you're in right now. So you'll take that. You'll let them. Hey, Venus, you'll let them. You'll give them the money. You'll give it to them. Like, you'll let them borrow. You'll let them use. You'll use your car for collateral, and then you'll pay this money back 60 months. And now for me, the amount that I would have been paying back, that's like 2 times worth. That's like over 2 times what I owe on my car. And it was just crazy because it's like, it's so unfair that everybody need help. Everybody should be able to have a chance to and not be robbed and not get charged. I don't know how much interest that was, but it probably was like 35% interest, maybe 45 on a couple $1,000s. And it's ridiculous because it don't take no 60 months to pay no couple $1,000s back for the average person. For me, I'll say, I speak for myself. It don't take that long to pay that much money, to pay that amount back. So to get yourself in a jam and have to end up paying back 4 times what you borrowed, maybe 5 times what you borrowed, is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm thinking to myself, how in the world is the government in America? But then I had to think about, like, we talking about the government in America because it's probably, I ain't even gonna go there, but y'all already know. We talking about the government in America because this is the kind of stuff they allow, and they should not allow people to be able to rob people with this predatory lending, because that's what it's called. It's predatory lending. Now, you know, this person that's probably getting like those payday loans. Don't ever get one. Don't ever get a payday loan. Never, ever, ever. Never do it. Don't ever do it because it's ridiculous the amount of interest. You probably want to borrow $200 to your next pay. You're going to pay them back $500, $600 on that $200. And they probably only give you like 2 weeks. And then they're going to add like a couple extra points of interest on it while you trying to pay it back. You never get caught up. You never get caught up. Never. Because if you didn't have it in the beginning, You definitely ain't gonna be able to double it up to give it to them. And this is the way that they're robbing people, and this is ridiculous because it just should be against the law. It should be against the law. You would think that people who don't have a lot, and I guess not in America, you have privilege if you have more. You get privilege with more. If you have more, you pay less interest. If you have more, you pay less or no taxes. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm trying to hurry up and get rich out here, because I'm trying not to pay no. I don't want to pay no taxes either. And I don't want to pay no interest. I want 1.7% interest, like I'm looking at on this thing right here where it say top 10 best lenders on my computer. They have a fixed 1.7% interest. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm really trying to get 0.5 interest, but that ain't gonna happen. But if I gotta get something, at least I'm only gonna get 1 or 2% interest, because it's just crazy. So I figure I'm just gonna save and do the things that I need to do that way, because I'm not about to go out there and put myself in a situation where I just doubled up. I just made it worse for myself. And like I said, it's sad because people need help. People be needing help, and they be needing to borrow this little money, and they should be able to borrow a couple $1,000s and not have to pay back 20, 35, 40, sometimes 200% interest. 200% interest. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, wow. 200% interest, and they allowed to charge you hey, Ms. Baynes, they allowed to charge you 200% interest. And where are this is where we go to our people that we put in office. These are the things. Or who's the guy? Who's the Treasury Department? I guess that's who it is. I'm trying to think of who it is for the state. Is it the state? Is it's not the U.S. Attorney. I'm gonna get it together. But we should be able to go to them and say, why are y'all allowing these crazy predatory lending? Like, why? Because that's ridiculous. Nobody should have to pay $200. That's the mob. That's like the mob. That's probably not even more. That's probably not even more than. That's probably not even the mob. Probably don't even charge 200% on interest or no money. So that's straight up robbery. You know what I mean? And it's just and that's where we come in as a people and get our stuff together, so we can have banks where we can lend people money that need it. Because if we have to keep on going to all of these programs out here that set up supposed to help people that need help, and then you get bamboozled, it's a flim flam. We're going to help you get a mortgage, but you got to stay there for 15 years. You can't move. You can't enjoy the wealth of your property. You can't, you can't enjoy the wealth of your property. You have to stay there for 15 years. You should be able to go when you want. You should be able to sell it like the next person, like the person that got the conventional loan. You should be able to sell it. You should be able to borrow a couple $1,000s and not have to pay $30,000 back on it. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and this is ridiculous. I don't even have another word to say. I was thinking to myself, like, wow, it's amazing. Like, and they just do it consistently over and over and over and over, and nobody's stopping them. Nobody is stopping them from robbing the people. And then when you get this loan and you can't pay it back, not only do they take whatever your collateral is, you're going to get that as a strike against your credit as well. Now it's on your credit because you couldn't pay it back. Now the amount, not the amount that you borrow is not on your credit. The amount that you put your property, whatever that was, like my car, whatever that note would have been, and the amount I borrowed, now all that's on there. Then you jammed up. I'm like, wow. I said, well, I ain't going to go that route. Okay, because I shouldn't have to be subjected to that kind of nonsense, and neither should you. It's ridiculous. So I'm not going to say ridiculous no more, because I done said it about 10 times. That it had me so teed off that I really couldn't believe it. So I'm on a rant today, because it's like within a week I had like three or four things happen And I'm like, really? I had that kind of week. I don't know if it was a full moon last week or what, but I had that kind of week. I had that kind of week last week. And so I'm like, okay. So then, if you guys know me, I travel a lot. I go, travel a lot. So I didn't have an easy pass, right? I finally did get one. I broke down and got it. I didn't want to get one, but I finally broke down and got it. But I've been traveling like all summer, down south, back and forth, back and forth. I think it was Saturday or Friday, I get a stack, a stack like this thick from Easy Pass Maryland, right? They done sent me all of these. Now, I truly believe some of them ain't mine, because trust me, some of the times that they said, I know for a fact that I wasn't riding those times in the morning. And I'm looking and I'm like, they started in May. So it was dated October the 29th, but I didn't get it on October the 29th. I got it last week. So I'm thinking to myself, y'all waited all this time to send me some Easy Pass tickets. Every last one of them was $6 or $12. It was about 18 or 20 of them. I said to myself, that's the crookie. That's what I'm talking about. Why would y'all wait from May to October to send me some Easy Pass ticket? And why are they $6 when the tolls is like $3 or $2? Why is the Easy Pass, if you don't have an Easy Pass, why is it $6? And it's $12 when you go through the tunnels in Baltimore. Those I had like four or five of the $12 ones, and the rest of them was $6. So now I'm irked about that. I'm like, ain't this some for real? Ever since May, y'all mean to tell me y'all let me ride back and forth down south? Y'all couldn't send May tickets in May, June tickets in June, July, well, not tickets, Easy Pass. Why? Why wait so long to send me that? That's how they get you. And then listen to the fine, right? The fine is, if I don't pay them, I think it's $144 total. By November the 29th, it goes up to $560. $560. That's what I'm talking about. Like, why is they robbing us like this? How come they allowed to do that? 500 from 144 to 560. I said, oh man. I said, this is getting. I mean, it gave me a topic to talk about today for sure. Cause I'm like, we must be aware. So if you don't have an Easy Pass and you're riding up and down 95 and you ain't get your slips yet, you're going to get them. You get an Easy Pass. Get an Easy Pass. Trust me. Just get one. Because I'm a rebel. I don't want no Easy Pass. I'm tired of them trying to clock us. That was my, that's my thinking, my rationale. I'm not getting no Easy Pass. They don't need to know what time I got there, what time I left. But I finally broke down and got one. Because I keep on going back and forth down south. And I'm like, I ain't going to keep. And plus, I want to get in the speed lane. Like in the middle of the highway is the express. You ain't got to stay on the side with the slow people. You can get going fast. So I broke down. I got the Easy Pass. And I'm like, wow. And it's so funny. It's really a coincidental that as soon as I get the Easy Pass, they send me the tickets. They ain't sent me no tickets all summer. I was wondering how I was going to pay them. I knew eventually that I was going to have to pay these tickets. It wasn't that I didn't think that I was going to have to pay. I really didn't know how much it was because they don't have no signs. Some of the places you can't pay cash. There's only one going down there. I think it's only one toll that's like $3. I think that's Delaware. That's like the only one you can pay cash. The rest of them is Easy Pass. You cannot pay nobody. Okay? So they don't even have a sign anywhere when you're going through the Easy Pass booths. It doesn't even say, it'll say Easy Pass and then it'll say Easy Pass no cash. So I guess the Easy Pass no cash is the lane that you go through when you don't have an Easy Pass. But they don't have anything to tell you how much it is. They don't have anything to say when you go through the tunnel, it's $12. They don't have anything to say when you go through this Easy Pass no cash lane, that is $6. Now, mind you, I have to go, when I'm going down south, I have to go through at least 4 of them. At least 4 on the way and coming back. So that's like 6, 6, 6, 6, and then the tunnel 12. I'm like, damn, they robbing the system blind. That's crazy. So now I gotta check my credit card statement to see how much it is, because I never checked to see how much it was for the Easy Pass. Now that I had the Easy Pass, but I'm just thinking to myself like, damn, they charge you $6 and you gotta go through 4 Easy Passes, and you getting charged $6 each time. So by the time you pay 12, I'm paying like $34. $34 just to go down the highway. It's ridiculous. That's what I'm talking about, crookery. That's another thing. Like, it don't make no sense. Because first of all, I can understand y'all need a little cash to fix your highways, but y'all getting out of control with it. And there's still potholes all over the place. So what are you using the money for? Because the streets is lumpier than ever. They ain't smooth. They ain't even smooth going down 95, going down south until you get to like, I think once you get to the end of Virginia going into North Carolina, it's smooth. But other than that, it's a bunch of potholes, just like in Philly. So I don't know what they using all this Easy Pass money for. And in Pennsylvania, it keeps going up. It keeps going up every year. They said it was going to go up a certain amount of percent. Because now from here to go to Williamsport, when I first started going down Williamsport, it was only like $5, maybe $4. Probably wasn't even $4. Now it costs 12 something, 13, just to get when you get off at the Pocono exit. So we just, and we know Pennsylvania highways is jacked up. So I really don't ask me what they doing with the money. Ask Governor Wolf, where is the money? Because the highways is still a wreck. And we are paying all this money for Easy Pass. And in some places, you got to have an Easy Pass. You can't even get off the highway. I mean, you can, but then you're going to get one of those crazy tickets like I got because you don't have an Easy Pass. So they making it where you have to have an Easy Pass to get off certain exits on the turnpike in Pennsylvania. Excuse me. So I'm like, man, we really they really put us through it out here when it comes to this money. They're going to get theirs though. They're going to get theirs. And we got to pay, but it's crazy. It's ridiculous. But I will not be getting no loans from no predatory lenders. That won't be happening. I won't be doing that. I won't be doing that because that's crazy. And I'm still flabbergasted by the fact that I got a stack of Easy Passes this thick tickets. I'm like, wow, that really just blew my mind. It really did. Because I'm like, not only do we have to pay to go down the highway, we have to keep paying to go down the highway. You're not going to just, how it used to be. When you get to one state, you pay a toll, and then when you get to the next state, you pay a toll. Now, you're paying a toll from county to county. Because that's what the Easy Pass said. It said this county, they had Baltimore City, and then they had like another, which I don't remember the county, and then they had another county. So it was like 4 different counties that I had to pass through, and I had to pay $6 for go through each county, and $12 through the tunnel. And I'm just like, really? Not just from Maryland to Virginia, but I gotta pay here in Maryland, here in Maryland, here in Maryland. Cause none of them was Virginia. Every last one of them was Maryland. Every last ticket was Maryland, and I had to go through Delaware before I got to Maryland. And after I left Maryland, I was in Virginia. I didn't get tickets from none of them. All the tickets came from Maryland, all of them. Hey, Missy, all the tickets. So I'm just disgusted. And, but I'm going away this week. I have a well-needed vacation coming up. I'm leaving on Wednesday night. I cannot wait to just chill, not hear nobody call my name, not hear nobody ask me to do anything. Just now somebody calling me. They know I'm on air. I'm probably a telemarketer. So, that's my rant for the day. So what's up, audience? Somebody talk to me. How you doing out there, Miss Vaney? Is Dawn still on here? Oh, my sister came on. Hey, sister. Facebook don't let you, Facebook don't tell you how many people. When they say I got 2 people, I see that I don't have 2 people on here because I see your guys' comment. I see you guys coming in. But Facebook said I got 2 people on here. They something else with their little algorithms. What's up with them? They don't want us to promote. They don't want to tell us we got nobody on the line. Hey, sister. They don't want to nobody. They don't even want you to know you got nobody on the line. They won't let me wave to you out there. I'm trying to wave to you out there. Yeah, so I'm so excited to go away. I'm so excited to go away. First, I wasn't going to go away, but that's another story because I couldn't even get my money back for my airline ticket. So I said, I might as well just go. I might as well just get on a plane, go, and worry about everything else when I come back. Cause I had a rough week. I'm back to full-time grandmom status. So if anybody out there knows my pain, even though I love my grandkids, but you know when you get old, when you start to get our age, the patience level is like this. Okay, you ain't used to getting up. Now I got school runs. It keeps me busy though. It's keeping me busy for sure. It's keeping me active. I lost a couple pounds since the kids been there because I've been running. I gotta take the kids to school, and then Chocolate got a little club she go to now, so I gotta go get her. So I'm doing a lot of grandmom duties. So they got me running back and forth, but like I said, it's at least giving me something to do, giving me some exercise. But it's a lot. It's a lot. It really is. Because my baby days been over, honey. The kids is grown. The kids is grown. But it's a pleasure to have my grandkids there. They keep me on top of what's going on social media, like TikTok and all this stuff. Because I'm really horrible when it comes to marketing myself on this social media. Everybody is, my mentor is like, you need to be on social media every day. You need to, and I'm gonna get it together. Trust me. I'm putting some stuff in order so that when the next year, when January come, with my third, because I'm going into my second. Though this is my second year, so it'll be 2 years in March. So I'm getting some stuff lined up so we can have a new look on the podcast and do some other things. And I hope my Dawn come back because I miss my co-host. I miss Dawn so much. I miss her being here. She keeps when I get a loss for words, she always jumps right in. She jumps right in and she helps me out a lot. I really miss her being here. But if Dawn's not able to come back, I'm going to go back to looking for a co-host. Sometimes EA come in with me, and also EA has a fashion show coming up. Hold on, I'm gonna give y'all all the information. It's at the Met in January. I think it's January the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. But hold on, I don't want to give y'all the wrong information. So I'm about to let y'all know. He was doing casting for some models. And I'm sorry because I should have been on top of that. Like I told you, I'm horrible with marketing myself. So I'm horrible with remembering. So I got my book with me today. See, I got my book. I bought my book so that I could stay on top of things because I be trying to think I'm gonna keep everything in my head like I used to about 20 years ago. But that's not going to happen. Hey, Keish, that's not going to happen because I know I got to write everything down because the brain ain't working the way it used to. I forget what I came downstairs for. I'm like, darn, I got to go back up the step. So, but yes, I'm going to let you guys know. But yes, EA is having their fashion show. It's called the Philly Storm of Fashion. And I'm going to give you guys all the information. Yes, so check that out. Inbox me if you guys want tickets to that. I'm sorry about the silence on the line. I'm trying to get the information for the fashion show. Hold up. Everything is acting up on me today. Okay, hold on. Here we go. The Philly Storm of Fashion. It's January the 23rd from 4 to 8, and the doors open up at 3. Showcasing all the fall and winter line of the top designers in the greater tri-state area. So they doing vending. They having vending out there. They having models. For more information and for donations and sponsorship, you can call 215-929-6212, 215-929-6212, or you can IG at Philly Storm of Fashion. Email phillystormoffashion@gmail.com. Okay? And tickets are being sold through Eventbrite. So, and they're also giving 25 to 50 children and adults the chance to get their LLC. any type of business or fashion. So with the donations, they'll be helping people get their LLCs. And if you've ever tried to get one, there's always fees. You have to file. I thought I was doing something slick. I did my own. I ain't know about the filing fee. I call myself doing it myself. I did do it myself. So now I have to get it filed because I did not get it filed. I tried to go in there and open up a bank account for my business. I did get a chance to open up the bank account, but they let me know that it was some stuff missing. Because I tried to do it myself because I ain't want to pay nobody. Because don't you just get sick and tired of paying people to do everything? I'm so tired of paying people to do everything. Like, I'm putting out money, and I know that in order for you to be successful and to, get better at whatever you're doing, you have to pay. But sometimes you just get sick and tired of paying people, because I am sick and tired of paying people. I'm paying people for everything. I know that it's all going to pay off. But if I ain't got to pay for something, trust me, I'm looking for something free, because I'm getting tired of going up in my wallet, for real. It's driving me crazy. I need to get some money coming in. I need some money coming in. So, yes, so check that out, the Philly Storm of Fashion Show, and it is at the Met, January 23rd, 4 p.m. till 8. So look that up, and if you guys are interested in that, just hit me up, and I'll let EA know, get some tickets for you. So, But I'm not going to be on air next Monday. I will be somewhere in the sand, and I will be refreshed when I come back the following week with a new topic. And hopefully I have a guest. I had a couple guests in line. I had a guest, a young lady that I follow on Instagram. She's from Atlanta, and she does, she has her business doing embroidery. She has an embroidery business, and I follow her on Instagram. I love watching her, the things that she does on her page, and I was trying to get her on, but Monday is not a good day for her, so I'm going to have to try to figure something out, see if I can get her taped and air that, because I really would love to have her come on my show. And I also have a gentleman that has a gym in the Northeast on Holmes Avenue. I was trying to get him in. Monday is not a good date for him either. I'm going to give you his information as well. He does. He has a gym on Holmes Avenue up in the Northeast, and he does like basketball coaching for the boys, and he also does one-on-one. He works with them one-on-one, teaching them basketball fundamentals. I'll give you his information. 1 second. Oh, her Instagram page is I'm So Expressive on Instagram. The young lady I was just speaking of, her Instagram page is I'm So Expressive, so you guys should check her out. She's out of Atlanta. Check her out. And also, my cousin Baynes has a food truck. So if any of my followers have any family members that work down at the waterfront, my cousin Baynes has a food truck down there called the Taste of Paradise. Is out there from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. So if you're down at the waterfront and you're hungry, go check him out. He got fish and grits, shrimp and grits, all that good stuff. He got sea moss and all that good stuff. So go down, check him out if you're down there at the waterfront. Like I said, he's from down there from 6 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, and it's called the Taste of Paradise. I'm trying to find a guy. Well, you never can find nothing on these things when you're looking for it. Okay, it's called Big Hustle. That's what it's called. Big Hustle. At Big Hustle Hicks on Instagram is his page, and he has a basketball camp on Holmes Avenue. So look him up. It's called Big Hustle Athletics on Instagram. Look him up. He does. I think it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 5 to 6 and from 6 to 7. He has boot camp, basketball boot camp, and I'm not exactly sure what that entails, but check him out if you want. If you're interested in getting your kids in basketball, teaching them basketball fundamentals, because that's what he does on his page. So not next week, but the week after, when I come back, hopefully I'll have one of them on my show, or I will definitely have a guest on my show next week, because Khadijah is getting tired of sitting up here talking to herself, even though I got you guys out there. But yeah, I've been trying to get my wits back together, because these last couple weeks been a little bit rough on the sister, So I'm just trying to get myself back to where I was and better. But the new year definitely, Willpower Week definitely has something new to offer. I'm going to hire me some consultants. That's what I'm trying to do. That's why our sister was trying to get a business loan so I can hire me some consultants so they can help me, you know, put my thing together exactly the way I want it to be. Because when you out here just starting from the muscle and you are doing everything, pretty much by yourself, it's pretty much by yourself, it gets a little rough. Because you're trying to do everything, and we all know we cannot do everything by ourselves. We need help. That's one thing that I learned from so many professional people is you're not going to get it done by yourself. You need to have someone there to help you, to give you some insight. You need to have someone smarter than you in the room. And that's a fact. That's definitely a fact. Especially someone who knows the business that you're in. Someone that can give you the ins and out of what you're doing. So, so that's what I'm working on. And hopefully I find me the right person, because that's the problem. I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thanks, Dawn. Hey, Cousin Sheila. Yeah, so, but, I'm here because it was rough. I didn't know if I was going to be here today, but I said I'm coming in for my people today because I ain't going to not be here today because I'm definitely won't be here next week. So I'm here, and I'm just trying to keep it moving. That's all. Just trying to keep it moving. What you doing, Dawn? Yes. Trying to see what else I got in here in my book for you. The one, because I had some stuff written down here, but yes, but that thing with that with that first time home buyers thing, that really threw me for a loop, because first time home buyers are like the backbone of the country. And without those people buying homes, the economy wouldn't be what it is. So it's such a shame that after all of these years, people in the inner city and I'm going to say the minorities. I don't like to call us minorities because that's their word. I hate using that, but I'm going to use it for politically correct term. We still can't buy homes, and I was just researching, and that's another reason why I'm mad at myself, because I think it's in my other book. I got like 10 notebooks, but I was researching like the percentage of homeowners, African American homeowners, from years past until now. And it's like in the 70s, it was way more black people buying houses than it is right now. And you would have thought that it would have been less, but it wasn't. It was more. And now we're still like the last people to buy homes, and it's because it's all this red tape. When we go to do something, when we go to purchase something, we have to go through so much extra, so much more than the next person when it comes to even borrowing money for businesses, borrowing money for our homes. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to just get a personal loan for anything that you might need. We always come up, it's always a roadblock when it comes to us. It's always a roadblock. And it's amazing that they say that we don't want to get better. They have their things that they say about us. And when we try to do better, hey, Anwa, when we try to do better, they put roadblocks up. It's things in our way. It's things in our way that stop us from moving further. We always got to do everything. We always have to go to the extremes to get help. You know what I'm saying? We can't just go in the bank and get a loan. We have to go through all of this red tape and that. And, they got to know your whole life history from the day you was born to the day, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's so sad, because why, after all of this time, can we not get what we want or what we need in this country? Because without us in this country would be nothing. It wouldn't be what it is today. It was all built on us. It was all built on our ancestors' backs. So much of the economy still runs on us, especially when it comes to the penitentiaries and stuff like that, they make so much money off the backs of our people just going in and out of the court system, not just being in prison, just in and out of the court systems. And when we try to do something to get ourselves further, we get stopped. We can't get help. We can't get a loan. We have to go through this and that. If we get a loan, we got to pay 5,000% interest back on the loan. It's just, at what point does it change? At what point? How long? How much longer? How much longer do we have to work? Yes, they are. Yes, they are, Aunt. It's just ridiculous. Because you take 10 steps forwards, and sometimes it feel like you take 10 steps forward and you get pulled 20 steps back. So then we got to start all over. It's like you got to start all over from the beginning again. You know what I mean? And it just shouldn't be so hard for us. It really shouldn't, because our percentage of buying and spending power in this country is like $1 trillion. $1 trillion. We spent $1 trillion, African Americans in this country. We didn't even know we had that much money together. But when it goes to the stuff that we spend our money on, you know what I mean? And the crazy part about it is we can get a car loan quick. They will give us a car loan, but they will not give us loans to buy a house. They will not give us loans to buy a house. We have to go through so much just to get loans to buy a house. And that just goes to show you that they really don't, no matter what, they never want to see us ahead. Because, you hear people say, oh, it's America, and it's free, and that's how it used to be. No, that's how it still is today. That's how it still is today in 2021. It's like so much has not changed. It just what did they call it the other day? It morphed. It just morphed into something else. The racism morphed into other things. It just, it's still there in the same sense it always was, but it just morphed. You would say because they could take the car back. They could take the house back too. They foreclose on people every day. But they don't give people chances that can actually maintain a mortgage. You got to go through. You can get it eventually after you go through all kinds of hoops and hurdles, but you can't just walk in the bank and say, I make this much money a month. I know I can afford this mortgage right here. They just won't give it to you. They got all kinds of criterias. And it shouldn't be so hard, because, like I said, the creation of wealth in America starts with home ownership. Home ownership. When you own your home, you have something to borrow against if you want to start a business, because that's how most people in this country started businesses. I'm going to say European Americans. The Homestead Act, and there was all these different things that was put in place for them to get ahead. There's none of that for us. We always got to consistently pull ourselves up from the bootstraps, as they say. We have to consistently keep going through the same things over and over and over. Because we don't focus on group economics. We don't focus on group economics. And group economics is what will get African Americans out of the situation that they're in America. Like Mexicans and, other races, they practice group economics. And we don't. We don't even think about practicing group economics. The first thing we think of when somebody say, let's put some money together, we think negative right from the start. Negative. Oh, they ain't going to take my money. You know what I mean? We never think about what could happen if we practice group economics. How much further we would be if we did. And why everybody else, because it's no way in the world black people in America shouldn't be second when it comes to the wealth in this country. We're the second highest population. Why is we the lowest when it comes to the money? We the second highest. I mean, for right now. We are. And it shouldn't, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to just go and buy a house, especially when you work every day. You work every day, you should be able to buy a house. I don't even care about no credit. If you work every day, you should be able to buy a house. Credit is just another tactic I don't care how much they say you need it. You need it. You have to have it because that's the way they made it. But it's just another tactic to keep certain people from getting anything. Because if you can pay a rent to somebody $800, $900, $1,000 a month, there's no way you shouldn't be able to pay put that money in a mortgage. There's no way. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And that's just, I mean, that's just flat out ridiculous. That's my word of the day, next to crookery. Because if you can pay rent, you can pay mortgage. And a lot of times, the mortgages are cheaper than the rent. But they don't want to give us a house. They won't let you go in the bank and get a mortgage. But you can rent something and pay somebody. And I know people who living in the same house that they rent from people for 15, 20 years. You shouldn't even have to rent from nobody for 15, 20 years. For other reasons. You should be able to go into the bank with your like, you know how they say how much you make to go get a car? You should be able to go in the bank and do the same thing. You should be able to go in the bank and take your pay stub and say, this is what I make, base my mortgage off of this. That's what you should be able to do. You shouldn't even have to, credit shouldn't even be an issue. Because it's just another tactic of crookery. Crookery, my word for the day. It's just another tactic. It's just another tactic to keep people down. Because when people are working every single day and they making enough to pay that rent, then they making enough to pay that mortgage. And they shouldn't be ever told no. You should never be told no when you want to buy yourself a house in America. Never. Under no circumstances. You should be able to buy a house. Because if you can pay rent, you can pay mortgage. And it would keep our people from having to rent so much if it was easier for them to buy a home. They wouldn't have to rent. But people don't even try because you get discouraged from the jump because all the hoops and hurdles you might have to go through to try to get something. And it ain't just for people in African American people who got low income. It's African American people who have higher income that gets discriminated against when they want to buy houses in certain neighborhoods as well. It's just us. They're so afraid to let us succeed here. I wonder why. They're so afraid to let us succeed. Having a home and owning your own home, that's a success. Excuse my lisp today. That's success. That's a great accomplishment to buy a home. It makes people not even want to buy a home. You should have a choice. You should have a choice. You shouldn't have to go through hoops and hurdles to get it. You should just be able to get it. It should be a rite of passage in America to buy a home without the nonsense. It should be a rite of passage because you don't know whether people are going to pay those mortgages or not because people pay their rent and they live in the same house for years. It's just a mess. It's just all a mess. It's just messy. It's just messy. You just get tired of the same thing over and over. You know what I mean? And we have to do something different. We have to get outside of our way of thinking. I don't know how many times I had to say it on the show. I'm just going to keep saying it. We have to get out of our old ways of thinking. We're going to have to practice group economics. We have to. We have to get together and create wealth for ourselves. I told you guys my family has an investment company. And today, December 21st, it'll be our 5th year. 5 years. And something big is about to happen because you know what they say. After 5 years, if you can keep something going for 5 years, see, 5 years that's the testing ground. The testing ground is 5 years. After that, it got to be better because you made it this far. And so I know that something big is about to happen with some things that we invested in. It's been a long time. But when I say these things to you guys about investing, learning about different things, learning about stocks, learning about cryptocurrency, because there's African Americans. If you don't want to go, if you don't trust somebody else, there's plenty of people like us that's on social media teaching you about stocks. On YouTube, there's a guy. He teaches you about the stock market if you don't have money to pay. But we have to get out of that frame of mind where we don't want to try something new. Because cryptocurrency is probably going to be the next money. They've been trying to do away with the dollar bill. They've been trying to do away with paper money for a long time. So they have the plastic, and now they have the crypto. And if you don't jump in on the bandwagon and grab you something, I mean, what's it going to hurt? What's it going to hurt? Take $5. That new Shiba coin. You can buy a whole bunch of that stuff for $5. You never know. But we have to do something different. We have to do something different. We've been doing the same thing for too long. History is beginning to repeat itself, and not in a positive way for us as a people. And if you don't know the history, then you're doomed to repeat the history. All these shootings in the street. It's 2021. 2021. And there's so many of our children, especially in the city of Philadelphia, getting gunned down on the street. It's just ridiculous. And it starts with all of these things. Home ownership, pride, and things. See, when people don't have pride and stuff, these are the results. These are the things that happen. These are the things that happen. In nice neighborhoods where everybody own their home, you don't have a whole bunch of this stuff going on because people pay a lot of money for their properties, and they're not going to tolerate certain stuff. And that's what it has to be for us. But it definitely starts with us having home ownership, in the majority of us, because then we will have something to have some pride in. Then you're going to watch what's happening on your block. You're going to make sure stuff is good where you paid all this money to live. It just goes without saying. You're not going to let anything happen to some place where you're paying a lot of money to live. You're just not. So that's my spiel for today. I thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, I won't be here next week, but I will see you on the other side. And stay tuned for Tunnel Bangers. And thank you guys for tuning in again. See you next week.
Ocean Park. And if the beat live, you know Lil Ju made it.